This is Nito, a Japanese man living in Kobe. For the last 10 years, he has spent nearly 24/7 in his apartment. In Japan, he is known as a Hikikomori, a social phenomenon where an individual seeks extreme isolation, and today, he's allowed us to take an unfiltered look into his daily life.
Good morning, everyone.
Unlike most Japanese people who are rushing to work around 6:30 a.m., his morning is quite relaxing. But you might be surprised to learn that Nito is not lazy. In fact, for the past 3 years, he has been developing a video game. Nito starts his day off with breakfast. It consists of cheese toast, yogurt milk, and some fruit. This is the same breakfast he's had every day for the past 10 years.
Yeah, I'm eating my meal on my chair because while I'm eating meal, I can browse internet. Yeah, that's it. It's too hard while shooting and eating.
It's estimated that over 1 million people in Japan currently isolate themselves like Nito, and experts on this matter are projecting that this number will approach 10 million in the near future, a whopping 10% of Japan's entire population. It's not easy to understand why someone would choose to live this way, but what better way to find out than ask Nito himself? Nito, take us back about 10 years. You graduated from the University of Tokyo. What was the job searching process like?
I like documentaries, so I applied to TV stations and productions. I have generally disliked Japanese working culture and relationships in the workplace. I had a sense of anxiety while I was searching for the job, so I didn't take it too seriously when I wasn't accepted by these companies.
Do you feel like once you've passed that initial job search period that you've lost the opportunity to get a good job in Japan?
Yeah, I think so. One of my uni senpai couldn't land a job he preferred, so he stayed in school another year and got accepted by a good company.
And when you decided you were done job hunting, what was your next step?
I believed that creative writing was my calling. I was thinking like, okay, I failed to land a good job, but instead I can experience a variety of work and can use it as my writing resource. I was going to quit my job when I can live on my writing anyway. I was arrogant and stupid. I was getting to realize that what I want to write was not what the marketplace wanted to read. I tried to expand myself to fit in the market demand, but I was not that talented. I wrote up a novel that I simply expressed my taste there and ignored the market. Then finally I accepted I couldn't live off my writings, at least at the moment. But I wanted to live on my creation no matter what. Doujin seemed to be a reasonable choice from my eyes.
Doujin means independent distribution, and comes in many varieties with people creating games, animations, and manga. Due to the low volume of production, when these works become popular, they can also become quite valuable. In typical Japanese humility, Nito claims he is not good at drawing, but looking at his work, I think most people would feel differently. After breakfast, Nito sits at the computer, where he will spend most of his day. He starts off by reading the news, picking up some tidbits from Reddit's game development forum, and checking emails. And when you decided to be a doujin, that's when you moved into your current apartment?
Yes, I started learning how to draw in my old room. I had no friends in my hometown and felt rushed to become financially independent as soon as possible. Feeling ashamed to go outside, so I became a hikikomori. That was 10 years ago.
What kind of work were you creating as a doujin?
I'm a bit embarrassed to say this, but 80% of professional doujin creators are making porn. In Japan, porn creators are relatively accepted or simply overlooked. That's what I was doing as well.
Is that due to high demand?
Yes, being in the otaku market, drawing cute girls is a must. And being able to draw cute girls gives you more opportunities in the market. It's also a great way to train your drawing skill.
That makes sense. Did you have any success there?
I published 2 books through an online distributor. My first was in 2014 and my second in 2015. Combining both, I sold a total of 2,000 copies and earned a net revenue of 930,000 yen so far.
Do you feel like if you kept going with drawing that you could have made a living from it?
Maybe, but simply put, drawing porn is not fun for me. I can't find the meaning of life there. Also, my second book didn't sell as well, so I didn't want to keep going. Around that time, Unreal Engine became free to use and I decided game development may be the last chance for my life. Now, years later, I am getting close to finishing my first commercial game per day.
Nito begins work on his game in the afternoon. He codes using the Unreal Engine, one of the biggest game engines used to develop for AAA game titles. His game title, Polstay, is a literal translation of Hikikomori. The game is an old-school beat-em-up brawler, centered around a Hikikomori named Susumu. The enemies are other members of society who are worried about him, want to mock him, or just want to see a Hikikomori in the wild. And in my opinion, looks pretty fun. After knocking out some work, Nito takes a break for lunch. Not being much of a cook, Nito usually sticks to frozen, retort packaged, or canned foods. He boils vegetables every day and has half at lunch and half with dinner.
I'm now talking with a BBC Click team, so I'm watching their video and prepare for their interview.
we've been close to for long enough to catch coronavirus.
How long have you been creating the games now?
I started developing games about 5 years ago.
Tell us about some of the challenges you faced along the way.
Well, my English was not great, so I couldn't write my game story in English. Also, all development guides are written in English, so I needed to improve my skill. That was my biggest challenge to overcome.
Developing games, particularly with the 3D graphics, has to be a lot more difficult than writing or drawing. So what is it that kept you focused and motivated over the past 5 years?
Yeah, it's certainly difficult and challenging, but I see it's rewarding a lot. You can tackle the new challenge and create your own artwork. That's what I want to spend my lifetime on. And also, I have no escape anymore elsewhere. Game development is the final result of mine.
なんでこれああなんでこれ
Looking at Nito's day, it's a bit hard to compare him to most Hikikomori. The stereotype is someone who doesn't work at all and their parents take care of them, while they lay about consuming media. While his life is not socially accepted, I do admire the number of skills he's built up entirely on his own volition.
Talk down to
This is today's my snack. Sorry for eating snack despite I'm Hikikomori. This is a raisin dipped in water, so it's soft and sweet. You can try it. And eclair. Yeah, that's it.
If the game is successful, what you wanna do next?
I'd love to travel around the world and meet game devs there. I have a couple of game ideas I want to make. These ideas require support from other people, such as a programmer and an artist. So I want to make connections with talented people and build a little dev team.
Not to jinx you, but what if it's not successful? Do you have a backup plan?
I will use Stay as my portfolio and try to find a job, preferably remote freelance job.
Can people play your game right now?
Yes, you can download a demo from my site.
When are you planning to do a final release, and how can people stay up to date with your game?
I'm aiming for Q1 2021 to release Stay on PC. If it sells well, I will try to port the game to consoles. You can check my latest development on my Twitter.
Nito, more of a personal question, but do you ever feel lonely?
It might sound odd, but I don't feel lonely much. I don't think I'm a misanthrope type, but simply don't feel lonely much.
A lot is riding on the success of this game for Nito. Please consider checking out the social links in the description or the comments, downloading his demo, or even share this video, as I think this is one of the best ways that he can get exposure, and we will see you again soon. Thanks for watching.